Here we have it. Our first map of the series is going to be on Clubhouse. Black Dragons takes on Attack.
Defenders,
Infamy on defense.
Being defused by attackers.
There we go. We're starting off on the prep phase. Neptune's just going to be reinforcing the sidewall. You can see the mirror as well. Going to be set up near there. Now, this is pretty darn standard. However, will this be more of a roaming type of game, as much as you don't really see that happen that often?
I don't feel like we are going to see these two teams roam as heavily as we had seen Ents and Evil Geniuses. I was very surprised to see as much roaming as we did.
10 seconds left.
But is there like that? Is there a very good reason? Is it like because you're not comfortable with it? Or is
No. So the
reason
reason that we aren't seeing the roam game on this map is very similar to why we don't see the roam game on other maps like Canal, when Canal used to be in the Pro League. The reason being is it's so easy to cut off a rotation. Like, for example, if you're up here inside of the master bedroom where we see Wag, he's going to drone you out. You have no place to rotate if they've already taken over the bar. You've got to just stay up there, waste time, and that's one of the reasons why you can easily get pinched. There's not a huge option to rotate.
Really all comes down to those peaks aggressively, able to get a couple kills off of this. It's just interesting, they're leaving one player that's just holding off the tunnel. It's not something that we've seen pushed for the past couple seasons, and it's not going to be the case here. Band's going to get picked up by PZD, of course, on the Jackal this time around before heading into the building. And interestingly enough, Infamy is going for the Legion, and I'm really interested in seeing how they're setting up the Legion, because a lot of teams are not playing around those goo mines. If they put them correctly, if they put them in those barbed wires around the site, if they're moving around those traps below in the basement, then you have a ton of an advantage as Legion, because you're shutting down opponents on the attack side coming in from every single angle.
I was going to say, it is possible that Vandal is playing that Legion, going to be playing it very similar to how we saw Fabian play it on Clubhouse. But if I recall correctly, Fabian was taking control of Dirt Tunnel, not inside of the Garage Tunnel. So a little bit of a change up there. But what I do like and want to point out here about Infamy's defense is they left that center bar drop hatch open and soft, because they were wanting to use that elsewhere. They want to use those reinforcements elsewhere.
Yeah, interestingly enough, they even sent the thermal to the tunnel entrance, which I'm not sure if they're just going to be doing it to fake out. Yeah, Wog's going to come back, so just to fake it, just to keep Infamy on their toes in the defense here, and can basically just put as many players as possible in the side room.
I mean, you can see what it's doing. It's keeping Easily at his toes. He knows that it's no longer safe behind him, so he can't focus on that kitchen drop.
Yeah, the tunnel being open just means that you have to have your ears everywhere and ready for it. So no picks just yet, waiting for the nades to come down. Vertical in the meantime just runs up the stairs and grabs PZD, a great early frag, and that's the Jackal out of play. So they're going to come in with little information about where exactly these roamers are being set up around the site.
Agreed. He did utilize at least one, if not two or three, of his spotting devices, so therefore it's not a huge deficit. Yes, his gun is great. You want to have that speed and that weaponry, but with 30 seconds to go, we're here with a 5-on-4. PZD off the board. Psycho's moved on in. He's going to pick up headshot on the Neptunes. Can he get Bandit down? No! Wag's going to be able to grab a kill as well as Kamikaze. It's now going to be a 2-on-2. 15 seconds left to go. Kamikaze's inside of blue as Julio has managed to get inside of the site. Easily he's going to duck away and back inside of the cave as Kamikaze goes for the plant. And we have 2 members left from Infamy, 2 members from Black Dragons, and the plant does go down.
Yeah, Julio now holding off, just waiting until Easily peeks through there. He's got nowhere else to go, but here throws the Gzmotman in, but he's not able to get anybody off of it though. Easily jumping in with the CZ, gets one. Mine's going to go off right in the face, but Beastly will get the final one on Kamikaze, and the bomb diffuser will be stopped by Beastly. Infamy recovering the round, and they just completely shut down the defense. That mine being thrown by Easily, and just the quick peek to take down the player right below the hatch.
I mean, that was a fantastic coordination right there between Easily and Beastly. Easily was trapped in the cave. He was trapped. He knew it. That's why you saw him throw out the Ella mine. He then looks to the right, magically gets that kill down on the, I think it was the buck that was inside of the armory. But, I mean, altogether, it came down to the coordination between those 2 Infamy players to just make sure that if one died, the other picked up the frag.
And so far, it works out pretty well for them. A clutch round early on. The first one is already a clutch. I can't wait for the continuation of all of this. So now on the defense is BD, and they're going to go for the Legion yet again. I love plays around the Legion.
Attackers need to locate
His
and
T5
defuse bombs.
SMG is absolutely fantastic. Actually. Very easy to control, pretty good damage, very controllable even at range. You can put on an RDS and still play very well with it. You can play around your mines. You have everything that is required. You can have your impacts to just move around between the sides, create your holes. Legion is just one of my favorites.
Now, going back to what 1nfamy had said in their introduction video, they realized one of their weaknesses is falling behind too early in the round. The fact that they've been able to secure the first round, to me, means they've got a better shot than what they were expecting to have or what they typically have. Typically, they're fighting an uphill battle, trying to get back into either a tie or finally taking the lead after maybe 5-6 rounds into the game. But here, they're starting off on a very nice footing.
Yeah, and then again, to not get too much ahead of ourselves, it is, of course, the first round. But historically, the defense on the map like Clubhouse has always had an advantage, especially when it's a chapel defense. So yeah, sure, it came down to the 1v1, played out well, but it's way too close to call just still. Now, easily is setting up the Thatcher. He's going to put up his Claymore right behind. He's going to try and move right into the bar area. Already the sledge is there. That's beastly. And Vandal just droning around, making sure there's no roamers there and trying to catch them off of their position. Wog even moving up just to make sure there's nobody trying to move through the tunnel. The tunnel has been underutilized, if you will, for quite some time. So maybe there's a certain point that we might see plays going through it.
Now, going back down to Julio, we just saw him opening up some of that some of the segment of the wall above the reinforcement. That's typically been used by attackers to toss frag grenades, to toss smoke grenades, flashbangs, whatever it may be. Julio's got a C4 in here. And I don't know if you can toss that through without it getting stuck either on the ceiling or on the wall.
Yeah, it's very difficult actually to get the right angle to have it throw in between it. But even the splash damage is pretty good on C4, so you can technically get the kill off of it, though it is not always as consistent as you would like it to be. But so far, 1nfamy taking their time. They're just setting up, opening up the hatches, bucking all the floorboards, making sure that there's nobody else going to contest them, and maybe get a pick or two off of them. But the time does go down. We're a minute 25, and they have to start getting some actual work done before. However, that basic checklist that we were talking about before, it is already done.
I need to know, how is 1nfamy going to get rid of the Jaeger, going to get rid of Psycho inside of Armory facing Blue Tunnel with the mirror window? They don't have that pressure from the tunnel. They don't have from Dirt Tunnel any sort of pressure. So therefore, we are going to see Jaeger, that Psycho, just play right there watching for anyone trying to drop in from the Armory.
Yeah, and that PZD position is just, hey, you want to drop through the hatch? I'm waiting for you. He'll spraying down.
There's the drop. Vertical falls. PZD picks up the frag. We're now going to be a 4-on-5. 40 seconds left to go. Neptune has something to say about it, though. Psycho is going to counteract exactly what I was just saying. Actually picks up that Jaeger kill. And there we go. 30 seconds on the board.
Yeah, problematic, though, with losing the Habana. And now you have to rely on your Thatcher that doesn't even have, or on your Thermite that doesn't even have any of the exothermic charges to use on those reinforced walls going into the church. So you're just going to be going in and just trying to run through the hallway. It's not going to work out too well.
Now we are going to have Easily looking to drop through the hatch. He's got Diffuser in hand. Neptune's as well. A double drop and a double fall. We are going to see Vandal, last man alive here. Neptune has been injured in a 3-on-1 now. 5 seconds to go. When Vandal trying to move inside, he's going to grab one headshot. Peeks on around. He's got 2 to kill. Can he grab him? No, he will not. We are going to have Black Dragon secure round number 2. It's 1-1.
A very good start there. Now, jumping in, basically, they lost the one operator that they needed. That was indispensable for this, because they had already used the exothermic charges on the Thermite, and all that they have left is the Habana. But then you trade the Habana for the Jaeger. It's like, you know what? Jaeger's already put his ADSs up. That's not the biggest of problems. The Habana has to stay alive to open up the sidewalls. They already have a Thatcher to help them out with that. Unfortunately, they just have to run in blind, 1. 2, they run in with basically everything reinforced. And yeah, sure, you buck the floorboards, but everybody can look at them from below as well, and you have to make sure that those lines of sight don't really play against it. We saw PZD as well, put in a perfect position, very open with the Ella that's just waiting right next to the hatch. But you know what? worked out perfectly.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Around at the end of it.
So I was trying to figure out, they are going with a fuse. The fuse is viable on this bomb site regardless of which bomb site you want to go to. And Glaz arguably could be used for both too. So I was trying to figure out where Black Dragons is thinking of going. Because Infamy is going to be putting a lot of pressure on the strip club, we saw some reinforcements go in the external garage walls. I'm going to say that it's best in Black Dragon's best interest to go for this stock push. And it looks as though they will be doing that. Julia's going to get up to the CCTV room right above stock, lay down a couple fuse charges and see who scatters.
Now, one thing, I'm not 100% sold on fuse on this sort of attack. Yeah, sure, if you were attacking the church, then yeah, having the fuse definitely helps out because if anything, it at least clears out the barbed wire that's just everywhere. But here, there's so little places that you can actually make it work. The best way to use it, though, is to try and push away the smoke from around the site. And that's exactly why they're bringing them, other than, you know, like we saw Ents bringing the Monty, for example.
Now the question is, will they be able to create enough of a distraction so that Julio can get that down without alerting easily? If those fuse charges goes off and he doesn't know about it, if Easily doesn't know about it just yet, they will be able to either get him killed or flush him out to the point where he's going to get nicked so much he's going to be useless.
Yeah, so Logs just moves in, opens up the sidewall, and now all you have
There's the fuse charge. There it goes, and Easily has to drop, but so do the fuse charges, and he goes down! Julio's also going to get vertical. PZD slaps one on the Vandal. That's going to be a 3-kill switcheroo. It's going to be a 2-on-5 now. Wonderful job here by Black Dragons. Unbelievable coordination.
It's Julio's looking for one more. Beastly's right behind the wall. He's going to get sprayed down as well. Julio
a 3K.
The 3K at the end of the round with the Blackbeard helping out to clean this one up. Black Dragons grabbing a pretty darn easy round on the attack side. They didn't even have to get on the site.
That was, in my eyes, the best team coordination we have seen thus far today.
Yep.
And we've seen some good stuff. But right there, the combination of using Hibana to open up garage wall, using the fuse to move smoke out, having other people to collapse, we saw on the kitchen side of that kitchen hallway, more coverage, the Valkyrie went down. That is the coordination that you need to be a very successful team, and that is what Black Dragons is showing today.
Every time I see a fuse picked, I get PTSD from ranked with all of those hockey bugs.
We're not playing hostage, okay? We're not playing hostage.
Yeah, hostage master. Somebody has to take one for the team, isn't it? So, Kamikaze on the 4-2 here. Yeah, well, Julio getting the 3K, of course, in the previous round, finally showing up on the scoreboard. See again the Ella, the Legion being played out. This is yet again the same sets as we had before. We're going to be in the bar, in
10 seconds remaining.
Garage area. So, what really will be the difference between what we saw before? Now, this time for the attackers, they go for having a bucket and ash instead of relying on the fuse, which means they will take control of the top side, which means they're going to try and bucket, and then try to get frags off of that.
This is interesting because Black Dragons threw a lot of utility, a lot of manpower into holding on to Cash Room, into holding Garage, into holding the stock side of this map. They've only left, I think that's Kamikaze, the only one inside a strip club. Other than that, they kill him off. You now have control a strip club, easily control a pool table. This is where I think if Infamy plays their cards right, they'll be able to navigate this and get a victory here.
And they're kind of starting to do this here. They're moving in 1 by 1. Now they're relying on his teammates that are in the bar area to just help them out if needed. Kamikaze, very wise decision there. Like, you know what? I'm going to get pressured anyways. I'm just going to fall back. We have info on them. We forced them to already use some of their Hibana charges especially, and they diverted so much of their attention on here. I guess that you can call that a win. You let go a bit of the map, but you know what? It's not the biggest tactical hindrance. You can still fall back and utilize, but this is the perfect buck play. Open up the entirety of the bar and just have Glass Vandal here, just complete line of sight of everything around the bar.
Now, unfortunately here for Infamy, as though they did push the correct way in what I would say, I feel as though they did it a little bit too slowly. They allowed Kamikaze to escape. We already see the rest of Black Dragons rotating over from Garage. They're now going to be on those kitchen stairs, going up to the gymnasium up top, the little gym room, and they still can maintain control of this pool table.
Easily. All right, trying to get his quick spot on here. He's up on the balcony. He's trying to get a contention basically against Wag, but This is not an easy contest, really. Easily,
No.
though. Oh, what is that?
Wag's gonna miss it. That's gonna draw the attention of Easily. He's now locked in, and he will not give that up. He's now actually gonna go for a little bit of a different position, moving up to the rooftop. Smoke grenade's going in. The gas grenade's going to counter, but not reach it. Neptunes will get this plant down, and it's going to be covered by Vandal. Perfect plant, perfect positioning. Infamy could have a victory here for round number 4.
Running in and getting the plant. That's exactly what a lot of teams miss out on doing. You have the great position to start doing it, do it, and make sure that you're just defending it and not trying to push even forward. Now, what team kill actually from Psycho, though, able to get one on a vertical. Vandal got one as well. A refrag. Secondly, from Easily, PZD gets one for him, turns it 2v3, but sprayed from the side. Gonna get dropped by Neptunes. Psycho has to jump in and contest the glass at range with the MPX, and you know what? That it will not work out at all. Neptunes will take him out. A very well played round by Infamy.
One of the things about if you're going to do a quick plant or a plant that does not take you down to the last 15 seconds of the round, you need to make sure that your team is in position, and that's exactly what Infamy made sure they did. You had Glaz in position covering the plant that Hibana laid down. You had some players that were taking on the hallway from pool table. You had other players outside of the window. This was what led to a very successful plant, because I think there was still over a minute, if not a minute and a half left in the round.
Yeah, that's a minute 15 when you saw the smoke being thrown, which is very, very early. It's very premature for kind of a smoke defense. But they had to basically blow up whatever they had, because the walls were already taken down into the bar from the strip club, and there was no reinforcements being set up. So what can you do? They have full line of sight on you. And I was saying at the start that, you know what, it's not the biggest of teams giving it up. But you know what, I was wrong, and that was basically how the entire round was played out. But here, Zippy's at Deacon on the Jackal, and we also have Psycho on the glass. We're going to have the smoke duos as well. It's going to work out pretty well from what we've seen on this attack in Church.
Yeah, the Infamy attack, though, last round was very successful. I think, again, we talked about coordination. Infamy had it on the nail that time with the buck. I think that might have been Easily going upstairs, trying to challenge the smoke. They also opened up the drop hatch above Jim, which allowed them to make sure that no one was peeking down from above. Since no gas grenades were tossed out, those smoke grenades let enough cover to go by so they could get it down.
Vertical, all right. Grabs kill number 1 and a piece of D with a quick peek through the main window. And this is great. Now the Jackal's down, and the glass suddenly is only 50% as effective. No more smokes to use, and any roam game is going to be a bit easier to do because you don't have to deal with the Jackal. Also, you can sit in a few of the awkward angles that are in the church area, and you won't get spotted out because there is no Jackal to do that anymore.
I was going to say, if you know that PZD is playing Jackal and you know that you killed him, but the attackers haven't taken control of everything above the main floor, I'd say possibly try to go for a roam. Because now they have to try to maneuver their roam game, their roam hunting, off of without a Jackal.
They won't be doing this here. They're going to opt out for the conservative play.
Correct.
Fall back to the site. It is still a very viable position to be in because now BD have to check so many different spots for that 1 or 2 players that are in a bit of an awkward position. So Kamikaze now looking in through, going to open up the hatch in kitchen, and even they're going to have the thermite taken down the tunnel entrance all the way from the spawn here. So Vlad's just going to fall back, help out Kamikaze. And still, Infamy, or Black Dragons, same for Infamy, they're taking their time to set up before they push down onto the church here. And that's really good because you need to have as much info as possible on that defense. Or else you're just jumping into clear lines of sight where people can just immediately head glitch and take you out.
What I've noticed a lot of teams do is once they know that Hibana charges are going to open up a drop hatch, they turn and look a different way. And a part of me wants to say, I want to see those quick Hibana drops come back into the meta. I mean, they were never really, we saw them once or twice every now and again. But I think if a team is able to take advantage of that, they could go for a very quick push one time.
An elevator drop definitely would work, maybe on Consulate, for example, but in here it's going to be extremely difficult because of the positioning, especially when you lost out that Jackal early on. You can't really maneuver too much around the map at that point in time. But still joining up, spot tap going on. C4 from Beastly takes down Psycho. Really good start. 2 players are already down from Black Dragons.
We're going to see Vandal take quite a bit of damage here. It's going to be a 5-on-3, 20 seconds to go. Wag's going to be inside of Moto, looking in towards Church. Vandal trying to tag him on down. A little bit of a more skirmish happening. Julio popped on in from the main stairwell. Vandal tags his feet and downs him on. Julio also falls to Beastly. We are going to have the last kill happen by Vandal inside of the blue, and we will have Infamy go up 3-2.
Vandal and Blue Generator, that is a really, really good spot. They reinforced the wall from the inside of the church. He sits back in there. He's got a couple holes to play around with. And you know what? Forces BD to run all the way into him. You know what? That T5 SMG will shred you up close. And when you have the Legion traps set up in the spots that you know players will jump on from, for example, the hatch leading down into church, into the other side, basically coming in from the kitchen, well, you already have the info. You have that alarm system to allow you to stay on your toes and just focus, maybe tunnel vision a bit, and not worry too much about those spots.
Now, Black Dragons needs to get a win here, or else Rio will go to match point for Infamy. As we said it before, Infamy said it before, that if they can manage to not fall behind too high or too far early on in the game, they've got a good chance at winning this. They've only been at 1 round behind. Other than that, they've either been tied or leading.
No, we're seeing the same setups actually come out for Black Dragons. You see the Mira. Obviously, here you're giving up having the Bandit, but with so many teams that are going for a Thatcher, I'm like, you know what, why would I even have a Bandit? Because you end up winning those battles, or they can get shot from above by the Buck that's just going to open up the floorboard. So this is a very tactical setup.
Let me have a look at you,
Just in case some elements
Are moving out to locate a bomb.
disable them. Thermite, we've seen him go around and opening up the tunnel, but hasn't been able to do too much in general. Just there, just supporting the back, just holding on to that diffuser until the Havana and the Sledge are able to do something.
So let's take a quick look at Psycho. He's the Jaeger. I want to take a look at him for a moment. What we've talked about last round is he's going to be in this position. This is what I was calling out as this is a very difficult position to counter unless you're going to have pressure from tunnel, because he's now got the crates behind him. There's no pressure coming in from Arsenal or the tunnel. All he has to do is just focus on the drop hatch, focus on blue tunnel, and that secures half of the church push.
Yeah, it's basically half the map. That's one of the, basically two of the 4 spots you get pushed from. And you're just sitting there and just waiting for your opponents come in. The rest of your team, all 4 of them, can just focus on the rest. And you can have Mira being set up, ready for the C4 to hold off the staircase. We haven't seen any push from the staircase itself just yet in this matchup, like we saw with Ents. But it's been for the best, really, on the attacking side so far.
Oh, so we see what we're having here from Black Dragons. They're going to go with that impact grenade strategy of tossing it up underneath.
Yes.
I was just about to say, why don't we see that anymore? For a second, I thought we might have had that old school Hibana glitch, but no. That was going to be an impact grenade. Wonderful job there.
Yeah, if you open up those sides, just to go for a bit of an explanation, if you open up just a tiny bit of the side where the Hibana charges would be set, you can hear them as soon as they get. Obviously, you can see them as well. Just impact nade right next to them, and that will blow them all up, and it works perfectly for them here. Everything has already been bucked, but you're losing out on the Hibana charges. And Neptune's trying to find the mirror below, but you won't end up getting that. Beastly, though, with the nade taking down Psycho, no more Jaeger.
Yeah, really good frag there by Beastly. Takes out the Jaeger, takes out the holder of that blue tunnel from Garage. Vandal's going to play a little bit of pressure down at the bottom of the main stairs. We're going to have, I think that's Beastly coming around next to him. So right now, Black Dragons is going to be struggling a little bit. They do have their corners covered. They've got most of their sights on the line. Julio is going to be holding down this main staircase. Nade comes on out. He's going to dodge that just in time. Enough for Vandal to get up close and personal.
And there's no Bandit to worry about here, so all that Vandal has to do basically is just trying to open up one of the sides here. But there's no more extra resources left, and all he can do is just try to contest the mirror, or at least keep her very, very busy. Or in this case, the Ella, though, the quick peek, Piece at D and Julio get a frag each. Wag with one more on it easily, and now they just hold on to the long hallway. Wag wants to push in. Kamikaze almost gets taken down, but he's got his teammate Kamikaze from the side taken down. Neptune, Beastly, last man alive, has to drop in. All 4 players from Blood Drax is ready for him, and he will get cleaned up from the hatch, coming down from Kitchen. A great defense from Black Dragons, chaining kill after kill, not allowing refrags from Infamy.
You're absolutely right. That makes it a 3-3. We're not headed to the match point just yet. Still plenty of Rainbow Six action here happening right now. Black Dragons goes back to attack, and we have Infamy here on defense. Now, are we going to see a little bit of a different hold I mean, actually, I don't think we've seen Infamy on no, we have seen Infamy on this top floor.
Yeah,
this
they
main
have
floor.
both teams have played
Correct.
it once,
Attackers need to locate and defuse the
but
bomb.
we saw one where BD obviously was attacking, and they had brought out the fuse. They're going to bring it
Yes,
out
you're right.
again.
This was the 3K by Julio where they went over to the CCTV room or cash room above the A site.
And this is why you bring the fuse,
site.
because you want to push those defenders away. You want to push the Mira and the smoke out of the close position heading into the stock room, because they create so much of a difficult impasse, because you already have to worry about,
10 seconds.
I'll say it again, the trap meta basically. There's no lesion traps to worry about it. There's no glue mines, but there's definitely that Ella smoke mine. And that is very difficult
Attackers
to
recovered
go
the bomb
through
diffuser.
if you're trying to
Attackers are
move into
moving
the
out
stock
to
room
locate a bomb and
directly.
defuse it.
Now, no EMPs to try to deal with that, but they do have the Twitch. So PZD has to do his job correctly with that shock drone to ease the way of Black Dragons into the site.
Now I'm trying to think of a way, if you know that a team's going to be bringing a fuse,
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
where do you actually set up if you know they're going to be pushing stock room? I was going to say, okay, open up all of the stock wall into bar, stay inside a bar. But your team, Black Dragons, is just going to drone out, say no one's in stock, let's go fuse bar. So it makes it very difficult for Infamy to create a horizontal defense. They have to have something that is vertical to stop that fuse from just being given this top floor advantage.
Exactly. Area of
Attacker's bomb
denial.
diffuser
That
has
is
been dropped.
100% what Fuse does. And you know what? Hey, you throw your Fuse charges in, you get a kill. Well, that's really good. You didn't get one, well, that's no problem because you already pushed them back. Julio, though, doesn't even need his charge. Runs in with the AK-12 and gets the headshot on easily, now cleaning up the smoke. And now is going to go in with the cluster bomb. Just going to try and set himself up. Oh, Vandal running away!
He goes down. Kamikaze's there to clean it up. Wonderful job. Coordination at its best. Again, Julio forcing that bandit out of position, and that's going to be Kamikaze to sweep it on up. Neptunes goes on out, does not get detected, but he does dodge the fuse charges. I don't know if any drone just saw him or not. He is going to stay inside of the stock room. We are going to have, I believe that's WAG. Outside, there's the last one. Neptunes will go down right into the line of sight of WAG. Black Dragons looking like they want to take round number 7 with a smile.
Yeah, this works very well for PZD because now on the Twitch drone, he can just run around and ease the way for BD even more because all the other defenders are just worrying so much about this attack. Kamikaze coming in, and finally we see the Blackbeard actually doing work in the tournament here. Vertical will get taken down. Last man alive is Beastly here. And you know what? As much as I like the name, I don't think it's going to be enough.
They're going to duck back and forth here, though. Beastly does snag onto one, a 1-on-5, still plenty of room to go. Psycho looked like he might have gotten the shot, but I think PZD took it away. That's Black Dragons going up 4-3. They're on match point.
Map point, and here we are. This is getting. This can definitely go into overtime, but I think Infamy had a really good start of the map, and then as soon as BD started stopping them dead in their tracks with the fuse, especially, that's when they started to get a bit shaky.
It is possible, but I do know that Black Dragons, their last time holding this site, did not go so well. There was a nice quick plant, if you will, inside of the bar, inside of the pool table. And so, unless Black Dragons is able to remaneuver themselves and cover more of their angles, cover more of the site, we could see an Infamy tie-up here.
Yeah, I think the biggest part of this kind of defense is to reinforce that pool table wall and at least dedicate one player with a support behind him. Now, it would be great to have a Mira to play around in this kind of situation because it gives you a bit more line of sight, though you're relying on the Echo. And Echo is a super technical operator. He doesn't play well alone or with one or two teammates. He needs an entire team to work together, and that's where Echo can shine. Either coordinated pushes to take down, isolate one or two players, and then take them out, or obviously denying the plant and just giving as much time as possible for the defense.
I was going to say, if Black Dragons is going to hold inside of the strip club, they're going to need 2 members, and it looks like that will be WAG and Kamikaze. Last time WAG was forcefully removed from that strip club a little bit earlier than I was expecting to. He didn't put up much of a fight, just came back onto the site, and that allowed a nice easy takeover of strip.
Yeah, one thing though is that if I were Kamikaze, I wouldn't try to peek these doors all the time. I would just stay a bit to the side and use the couches as protection for myself because this, obviously, these being taken down to basically no HP, the walls that is, means that your opponents are going to know, okay, there's definitely going to be somebody there. It's going to keep them on their toes, but it's not really the biggest of deals because they can just have somebody watching their backs whilst they do the main job, which is opening up the wall to head right into the strip club.
So what I think we might be seeing here is once they start putting a lot of pressure on the main strip club, we are going to have someone vault over through that door. That's why Kamikaze keeps on looking over it. Vandal has his laser sight right down onto it. A 5-5 still to go. Kamikaze's getting a little antsy, though. He might peek it out at the wrong time.
No, he's just going to fall back. This is very, very smart. Vandal has droned in, and he knows that there's a player to expect in there. So Kamikaze just understandably pulls back and just rendezvous back with his teammates because he knows that his position is very open. Wag gets one, but easily in vertical will be able to frag and get Wag and Kamikaze as well. The smoke and the bandit both down. The price of the Blackbeard.
I'm not sure if that's going to weigh in favor of Black Dragons or Infamy. I mean, taking out the Blackbeard, very good thing to do, but you got rid of your smoke.
Yes.
So with that, we have over one-third of the round remaining. Neptunes, though, inside of the strip club. Vertical picks up a kill on a Psycho, evening out, not even evening out, man. Count is 4-on-2 at the moment. Vertical is going to have that top floor control, peeking on down towards pool table and the main stairs. It's all to Julio and PZD.
And this is where basically your Echo turns into useless. However, they still can deny this as much as possible, get that Ella in a better position. They wait up to deny this here on Neptunes, just giving enough time for PZD to run in. Vertical behind the bar, now jumps in, but the flashbang comes perfectly right in front of PZD and has to fall back for a sec. Julie gets one, headshot right onto Vertical, turns it into a 2 versus 3, but the diffuser has been planted.
Has been gone down, and PZD is going to be right under the brick half wall. Julio does have the Yokai inside of Strip Club. He's going to call out 2 players inside of there, but they've got 3 to kill. Vandal easily and Neptunes. Looks as though PZD is going to lead that way as Julio gets off the drone, moves up a little bit closer. Shots going in. One's outside the window, 2's inside of Strip Club. PZD's on the hunt as Julio grabs a little bit more of the distraction, moving up over towards the windowsill. And Julio now hopping up on top of the table. Vandal grabs that shot of the PZD. It's all up to Julio. Can he grab it? I'm not quite sure he can. Not enough time. And we are going to see Infamy here secure round 8. This is going to be the first overtime map of today.
I believe it's the second overtime. Second overtime.
From who?
Ents we saw before.
Ents we saw 5-3, 5-3, and I believe 5-3.
Was it?
I believe so. We'll have to get back to that. But it is going to be an overtime nonetheless, and Black Dragons have drawn the straw to get them onto the attack side to begin, and Infamy will be on defense for overtime number 1.
You are right, Bettis, actually. There was no overtime. I confused with what Intero was saying.
With what you wanted to have happen.
Yeah, actually, yes, because it was so good. We were like, you know what, give us more of it. But BD are now on the defense. Obviously, if you've never seen overtime, because this is the first time that we've had it here in the tournament, at least in the finals this time, it's basically tiny best of 3. 3 rounds, and basically the team that wins 2 out of the 3 gets control of the map and puts that 1 point on the board for them. So it's extremely important to get your... I believe if I'm Infamy, I want to win the attacking round on this side because this gives them such a big advantage coming into the next time because of how quote-unquote easy it is to hold the defense in church.
Now, I misspoke earlier. Black Dragons is going to be on defense, not attack. And what I think we've talked about it numerous times during the Pro League regular season is, yes, I think Infamy does. Obviously, they want to win their attack, but even if they don't, they're going to go down to the favored bomb site. They're going to go down here. They will likely win it if it gets to round 2 of overtime. That will force Black Dragons to have to go upstairs to the bar and stock room, the less favorable bomb site. So it's anticipated that both defenses are going to win downstairs, and it's anticipated that the attack is going to win upstairs.
That is a very good point, actually. Well, we'll see. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I know this is getting very, very close. The crowd as well is on their feet because, you know what, they want BD to take this in a sweep. And so far, Infamy is punching above their weights, but they are punching hard. Vandal is moving in with the Capital. Already the floorboard has been bucked by Neptunes, and he's going to try to get himself even in a better position, buck the floor in the kitchen. Usual checklist stuff as Vertical just starting to move into the actual kitchen area.
Yeah, Vertical's been on this window each and every time, trying to open up that kitchen drop hatch. Not a big surprise. Being outside with the Hibana to go inside the window, that's the safer bet, usually. We have seen a couple players, couple teams try to peek on outside from the floor below. But this is not one of those aggressive teams we've been seeing.
Yeah, and it's the same defense setup basically from Black Dragons, though I haven't seen their elo mines being too great when it comes to denying those quick jumps. It has been a lot about, we're anticipating the players, we know they're going to be coming from, so we just
Bomb
pop there
located
and
by
try to go for a
attackers.
kill. There's none of those elo mines that are set up in spots where they can definitely shut down opponents that are trying to push through hatches or even a blue room.
Now, what Neptune's is doing right now is he's trying to gain more control of the kitchen floor to make sure that there's no more impact grenades. They're going to stop the Hibana charge from going off because I think Vertical might have already used one, and it looks as though that did destroy it.
There's still one mine
Attackers
left
have recovered their
on
diffuser.
PZD. Now Vandal has a perfect spot. However, with the Capitao, it's all about timing. He's, again, like the Echo basically for the attackers. He has to have timing and good control around the map with his teammates. Then his crossbow bolts will actually be extremely effective, not just with the fire bolts, but also with the smoke bolts, so that will completely blind his opponents as his teammates are trying to push in. Time, though, is ticking out, and easily
Attackers
we'll grab the
have dropped
first
the bomb
one.
diffuser.
Julio Kamikaze quickly with 2, and they go with 2 as well here for Infamy. Neptune's going to get dropped,
Another one.
leaving the Capitao on his own.
Attackers
Julio
recovered the
PZD
bomb diffuser.
alive and ready.
Now, the thing is, Vandal does have the diffuser. He can start getting the plant down because the other two are inside a church. So we do have Julio and PZD both inside a church. They're going to move on
15
over.
seconds to
Will Vandal get a kill? Oh, Julio sees it, goes for some fire. He will miss this target. PZD swings on around, and Black Dragons will win the defense here on the first round of overtime. They go up 5-4. They are now 1 win away from taking map number 1 home.
Now, I'm very worried about the attack from BD because now they have to attack into church, and they haven't been too great at doing that sort of attack. Both teams have been extremely effective when it comes to pushing stock,
Correct.
but that church area is not easy at all to go through.
I mean, if we take a look at the very first set of rounds here, we had Infamy started out on defense. They successfully held their defense, went up 1-0. We then had Black Dragons secure their defense down in the basement. They went up they tied 1-1. They then had to attack on that top floor, went up 2-1. So what we talked about earlier, I think, is going to come true here. I believe Infamy will walk out of this with a 5-5. We'll then have to see Black Dragons adjust their defense on this main floor.
But this is the attack composition that BD will try to break this sort of defense
Correct.
with. This is the Ying that's going to be used up. So finally we get to see the Candelas that'll be thrown in through those hatches, not just having them, just open and try to get a kill through them. But now we're going to see the Candelas to push away any of the defenders that are getting a bit too close, which is exactly what we saw the Jaeger, for example, with Vertical, how he's getting ready, how he's setting himself up in Blue Room. Now PZD as
10
well as on the
seconds
Jackal.
remaining.
They have to make sure that they don't lose him early on. Also, they have Julio's on
5
the
seconds remaining.
Capitao, so they're going to try to help them out with the support crossbow bolts. You also have Psycho that's on
Attackers recovered
the
diffuser.
glass as well.
Attackers
So
are moving out
this
to
entire
locate a
setup
bomb
is
and
very
defuse it.
hard hitting, but extremely technical. Just relies so much on the Jackal gaining them info, and then everybody making sure that they have done the pre-push prep, and then doing it at the same instant. 1 second delay means that your entire push is useless.
So what I would like to see here, I would like to see the Ying, that's Wag, go into kitchen when the time is right, toss down a few delayed Candelas to hit the back of lockers. They drop down through kitchen at the perfect time to go for a plant underneath of the kitchen floor. That is, I think, what the ideal use of the Candelas would be. Make sure that they're blind at the back of lockers, take over the arsenal, and start planning from there.
This is out as well, though. They're going to get set up a reinforced wall as well in the middle of the hallway, so they might be able to set up one player right behind that. Not usually something that you would see. Possibly the Mira that let that go instead of the C4 to use up here.
We do have a little bit of a punch hole here from Beastly. This is inside of that mini bar of Church. Now, generally, that's not used too much. What we do see is people just trying to stand up or crouch around it.
What's
But-
odd as well is the double mirror wall
Yes.
on the church wall, which is not something you see at all. You see usually the second one that's being set
A
up in
bomb
the
has been
generator room,
located.
or just trying to hold from there and just only having one. I think this is too much dedication
Attackers
for
have
this kind
located
of
a
hold.
bomb.
I mean, what we saw earlier with they were going to try to do a double mirror strat was on either wall, the left and the right, and leave the center soft so that you can be at either mirror window and focus on either side of the hallway. But having a double mirror window like this reminds me of trying to do something like you would on border, western walls of the top floor, that we used to see the double mirror strat there.
Now joining right in here. BB have to scan things around. We're at minute 8. There's still just a bit of time before it's crunch time, basically, to push in. Nobody from 1nfamy has reared their head just yet. Same for Black Dragons. They're still opening up as much as they can, and even he's at D utilizing that, well, in this case, not the mirror shotgun, obviously the Jackal shotgun, the ITS, just because of the latest buff. Now, I think this is the push.
Here it is. This is what we were talking about. You're going to toss those Candelas in. They're going to go blind, and Black Dragons is going to try to drop here. Smoke grenades, Candelas, fire arrows. This is all what it's going to come on down to. Wag will get hit with one of the mines here by Ella. He'll go down, but a nice kamikaze double kill. It's going to get Vandal and Vertical. It's now going to be a 3-on-4, 2-on-4. PZD slapping up a kill on a Beastly. He's going to step on top of a goo mine. Easley's moving on over. Julio gets the final kill, and map 1 will go to Black Dragons.
That was an extremely well-timed attack. Said the Ying and the Capitao working together with the entire team is going to be the most important part of it. And the best thing is that they let the Ying jump in first, because she's not the most important part of this attack once they get down on it.
Plus, she can see if someone were to drop too early and the Candelas didn't go off.
Exactly, and on top, Julio and the Capitao just sat on the side of the wall and just waited until one of the defenders try to push onto him. Usually, you try to see, what you usually see is all the attackers just trying to spread out as much as possible around the site. No. He stayed very, very close to it, and that basically surprised any of the defenders to try to push in onto him. Nobody was holding up top in kitchen, obviously, but it worked out perfectly. That was extremely good.
As soon as I saw the Ying, I'm thinking, okay, I was thinking of the Yings possibly being used as a fuse type charge, where you actually place them on the floor to go for a very quick sort of flash tactic. But then I got to thinking, I was like, okay, you've got a 3-second delay, and during that 3-second delay, it's still rolling. Perfect opportunity to throw it towards the back of cave entrance or the lockers. Exactly what they did. The smokes were a very nice additive. I didn't see the fire arrows do much. I don't know if they were deployed or not.
They were deployed in the back, basically into the hallway.
Okay.
This means that rotations is going to be a bit more
going down,
from
stopping
Church.
the rotation from Church. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at some of the replays, though, from this first map. Black Dragons won it in overtime, 6-4. Here's how they did it.
There were some really good plays from Vertical, but I love this position from PZD. Vertical just pushed in, and you're like, you know what? I'm waiting for you. I have an Ella CZ. I can just take down anybody. Unfortunately, there, you saw it way too many
This was
players.
it.
Yeah, easily trying to jump at the hockey puck lengths right next to him down below in the basement.
Now, this is a wonderful skirmish back and forth. We saw it numerous times. But I think what this comes to be is I think 1nfamy now realizes we don't have anything to fear. We've put up with Black Dragons so closely. We took them to overtime on map 1. We can we can do map number 2. They just need to get ahead like they started out here on Clubhouse.
Yeah, it's not impossible like everybody was saying. As I was saying as well in their videos, like, we just need to play our game.
Yes.
And I have to say, they started doing it very well, and they took it back into overtime, but I think losing that attack round in the first round of overtime, that's exactly what put them down. Yeah, sure, you can play around and maybe try to say, as you were explaining, try to go for a bar defense later on, but that's leaving too much to chance. You want to have the attack round to secure it, because that's the difficult one to go for.
Agreed. So our next map, if I remember correctly, is Oregon. Or is that our third map? Drawing a blank on exactly what our next map.
We should be going for Oregon, and Consulate will be the last one.
So Oregon's our second map. We've seen Oregon, I want to say 2 times today so far. It's a multiple.
Everybody
map.
plays.
Everyone
on
loves
Oregon.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't want to say everyone loves it. Everyone knows how to play it very effectively. It's kind of like one of those maps, kind of like when Cafe was kind of in the core meta. People knew it. People knew how to play it. It was a very stagnant sort of map.
Yeah, until
it's
people
not that
figured
they
out how to
loved
chuck
it.
C4s from the lower side of the Cafe. They're like, you know what? Let's just never play Cafe.
Yeah. But no. So Oregon's our next map. We're going to get into it very, very soon. But thinking about Oregon, thinking of how we've seen it before, how does 1nfamy's, we'll call it defensive tactics, if you will, work towards that basement hold? I mean, we've seen them use mirror in an okay way, not to the extent of where we've seen the double mirror strat for 1nfamy. I like more of what we saw with Black Dragons, with them spreading out their mirror windows. But for 1nfamy using the mirror windows, where do you think we're going to see them downstairs?
I think it's just going to be the normal
The default?
mirror one, the
Yeah.
default. However, you're only going to see one of them. I expect the second one to be used up to watch kitchen from the meeting hall.
Okay.
Either that or to have a line of sight into the red tower stairs, because that's very important as well to hold off. But usually what happens on that defense in general in Siege, when you're defending any basement, it's won and lost over how well you can hold the top floor versus the actual basement itself.
That tends to be a lot of bottom floor bomb sites, or any bomb site that has a top floor to it. Think about Cholet, for example, on the basement. You've got a lot of roamers. The roam game on many maps is key and paramount to being successful.
Yeah, and here, speaking of the roam game, this is one of the strategies that I absolutely love, which BD and BRK, to some extent as well, were the two teams that started to pioneer it, if you will, which is, what we saw at Gamescom, is setting up at least 2 players and even dedicating reinforcements and mirror walls up all the way on the top floor instead of just the ground floor in the meeting hall, and then holding off the bedrooms. This means that the attackers have to worry so much about the defenders that are up there roaming.
We saw that. I want to say we saw that today. Let's get underway. Take a look at the bomb sites. I know you guys are already familiar with them, but we'll show them to you again. But you're right. We saw that actually earlier today, and I think it was a 2-2-1 split or 2-1-2, where we had 2 players upstairs, possibly 3 at any point in time.
1 player holding off basically in the meeting hall, and then 2 below. And this works out perfectly because so much time is wasted, and you know what? Siege is all about tactical play, but also about time management.
Correct.
That's something a lot of teams are not that great at, but that's exactly what we saw, for example, with Eins and Mantis, where there would be little time to play at the end. And even BD is starting to get a bit into that role, as we saw on map number 1. But here, they're going to have to do it a lot more efficiently. Get the checklist done as fast as possible. And you know what? This sort of defense, the attackers have an exact checklist to go through. Open up the main hall, open up school, open up the hatch, take control as much as possible of meeting hall. Maybe even if you can, send somebody into the red tower, try to move in from a pincer movement. But the one thing is hold up the school hatch just when you get the plan.
So you talk about time management, and one of the tips that I like to tell people if they're having issues with time management is actually if you're going to go into scrims, going to go into custom games and whatnot, if you can find a scrim partner that would be okay with this, set your round timer to 2.5 minutes. That will force you to work under 2.5 minute conditions. That way when you go to an ESL regulated rule where it's 3 minutes, you've got, in your mind, 30 extra seconds to do whatever needs to get done.
Yeah, it just means that you're more efficient at doing the stuff that you need to do as fast and as efficiently as possible. But an interesting part here is that 1nfamy go for the mute, and they actually set up one of those mute jammers on the top side in the bedrooms, which is not something you would see. And this is what we were talking about. Set at least 1 player up top. They even dedicate reinforced walls. They have mute jammers that are on white stairs as well, and in the bedroom right next to them. It's going to be extremely difficult to do.
We do have Julio, who did manage to get up the main stairs into the armory. He's going to hold down the hallway here, looking for vertical.
Now, Beastly set up in the kitchen. Psycho has spotted him out here. Kamikaze, though, grabs kill number 1 on Neptunes, and the second one as well from the bathroom on Beastly. Now that's Samira and the Valkyrie taken out. Still have the mute to deal with, and the rest, it's just basically falling back on the site. The vertical is trapped. And now he's going to have to do as much damage as he can.
And Kamikaze will meet the fate there by Vertical. Nice MP5 kill there. But Psycho still looking here. He knows that Vertical is going to be inside of the kids. C4 comes on out. Does not do any damage, but Vertical will tag Psycho down to about 15 health, but not enough to get him killed off. And he will fall inside of kids' dorms. It's going to be a 4-on-2 now, with a little over a third of the round to go.
Yeah, and this is the mirror wall that we were talking about, having the second one set up in the meeting hall just to watch kitchen. Unfortunately, it didn't work out too well for them because nobody was thinking about the bathroom.
Now,
that's where BD were pushing.
The benefit here is that Vandal still has the luxury to hold down meeting hall and put a lot of pressure here. Easily, if they can knock it down to 40 seconds, easily hold those gas grenades off and stop the plant from going down. He's got all 3. The push is going to come in. First gas grenade. That's going to push him back. Candelas go out. Wag's actually going to bite the damage, go on forward and try to go for this plant here. Gas grenade goes on out. Psycho has fallen. Wag will not get this down in time, I don't think. Oh, he does, but he will fall. That's going to make it a 2-on-2 here. Psycho and PZD last two. Oh no, Julio did picked up. He's going to be here. Easily will finish off Wag though. 2-on-3 now. Psycho's drone's going to spot out easily here. Last gas grenade though, and he's going to try to move on over and get for this plant. Drone though will be spotting easily out. He knows that he's going to be close to the bottom of the stairs. With moments to go, easily he's going to try to get this down. Shots going at his feet, forcing him to relocate. Vandal going to try to lay it on down. Headshot on the Vandal. Psycho picks up the frag. Easily's top of the stairs, and Psycho doesn't see it yet, but he's also not exposed. There's going to be the kill though from Julio, and round will go in favor of Black Dragons.
A very good start. The hold from the attackers in the bathroom was absolutely sick. And taking down the two players that were in kitchen, this basically means that your one roamer that's set up on the top room is basically useless at this point because he can't run on down. Now, fortunately, he was able to take down Buck, but that wasn't enough. They basically just said, you know what, if you're going to stay up there, we're going to already get everything ready to get on the site, and then if you try to push us, well, we're already watching our back, so you won't be able to do much at that point. Though smartly enough, we did see 1nfamy rotating the Ella back on the site. I think a lot of these rotations back on the site, when you realize that, you know what, this is going to get a lot more difficult than you thought it was going to be, are a bit too slow. And this kind of, this kind of experience, this kind of game knowledge only comes over time, and especially on land when you're focusing so much, you can find yourself tunnel visioning a bit too much.
Yeah, tunnel vision is something that I think affects players of all skill levels at different points in their gameplay, and it's those that can identify it and actually snap out of it, if you will, that'll come out on top.
And that's the job of an in-game leader. The in-game leader doesn't usually do a whole lot in terms of the actual fragging. He's the player that's just going to be making sure that his players have to think as little as possible and focus on the one job that he knows they will every single time to correct.
His job has to be to identify the rabbit holes and make sure your team doesn't go down to it.
Now Vertical just going to be running outside from the bus yard. Might try to push in. Now he's just going to open up the wall from below, and you might see him contesting that white stair in just a bit. Though he jumps into bathroom, just making sure there's nobody waiting for them and causing a bit too many surprises. Neptune's is thrown in.
Now I find it a little odd that Black Dragons would reinforce the kitchen walls and not have anyone in there. So I don't know if that was just a ploy to kind of force them to use more drones, potentially get them killed out, slow them down, whatever it may be, or it could just be for a late rotation.
Yeah, I think here 1nfamy's looking at it as like, why did you do that? Where is everybody? And that might put them a bit off their mojo, if you will, going into it. But I'm not too sure what they were thinking about this. So this is why Psycho having him below, they're not expecting anybody to defend it from below. We were talking about defending a lower site from above, but not this kind of play.
No, this is going to be good if Psycho can manage to evade detection. Again, still plenty of time here for both Black Dragons and 1nfamy. There's 4 players on the top side, and like we said, Psycho's going to be the one downstairs. He's going to go to the top of the stairs, gave away his position by throwing a couple bullets, I think, towards Vandal, who ate a little bit.
Not a fan of that at all. This position was supposed to be the Joker card, if you will. Try and win this one out. Unfortunately, he's spotted, and well, that spot basically come back to what the Mute was doing in the previous round for 1nfamy. Now he just will get pincered out, and the only way to run out, at least for him here, is to go all the way around, get to the red tower, and then go all the way up through the attic to get towards his teammates.
Now Vandal's looking at it right. Once Psycho gave away his position, he's most likely going to rotate over to the back of Red Tower. He has done that, and Vandal's already looking through the stock room in towards Meeting Hall.
He's trying to go straight through here, easily almost getting the kill. Julio will escape with just a bit of damage done. Fortunately for him, goes vertical, as we said before, takes control. White stairs, flash right onto him. I believe that was a team flash coming out as well. So now, this gets a bit more complicated for 1nfamy trying to push in because of the way that things are being set
Vertical
up.
got inside, but Wag is there to take him down. Psycho as well, picking up a headshot on the Neptunes. A 3-on-5 now. Defenders in favor. 20 seconds to go. Beastly outside of the A window. Vandal's got to hop in and rappel in from the north windows of B. And this is not looking good for 1nfamy here for round 2.
Yeah,
Vandal
no.
does fall. Wag, nice shot there with the SMG-11. Got to get Beastly and easily goes down. So does Beastly by the C4. That means we are going to have a 2-0 lead right now by Black Dragons.
2-0 up. Black Dragons holding up that top bedroom so well, realizing that it's time to rotate the Valkyrie out of that basement position, getting her into a better spot. Also, they spot the Ashe. They let the Ashe run in so they can bait her into an area where they can take her out very easily within the bedroom area itself in the hallway. So overall, this is just Infamy not having, basically thinking that they have info and thinking that they know what's going on up top. And then they run in like, oh, this is exactly what we were expecting.
There's a carrot dangling in front of their face, and they're going after it.
The bait. The bait was
We've seen it
100%
before
well done.
previous in this season, and it worked out tremendously. If you have a player on your team that might not be listening to the best calls, might not have all the information necessary, but they feel confident in being that Ashe.
And that's the
Shift
Ashe
W
play
main.
in general.
That's the Ashe play. If they're going to do that, and a team can identify that as something that you do a fair enough amount of times, they're going to trap you in it.
10 seconds to insertion.
And so basically it comes down to, will Infamy's in-game later recognize that and say, hey, slow down. We can spend 10 more seconds, get some more information before you go up and expose yourself into a risky scenario.
Infamy are coming up hot after the play snap. You know what, we can take this, but you need to take every round on its own. Every round victory is a victory on its own, and then you move on bit by bit. But Black Dragons and Kamikaze here taking control of the red tower. 3-0 for Psycho, as we see on the board. Black Dragons equally contributing to the team, not just obviously in the kills, the siege. Kills aren't the most important, everything, but obviously if you're getting kills and you're able to set your team up every single time in a good position, that's exactly what you would like to do.
Plenty of time here, though, on the board. Only about 30 seconds, 40 seconds done on the round. PZD is going to be inside of the school bus, looking at bottom of west stairs towards the bathroom. Now that's a typical spot to challenge someone inside of the bathroom. Vertical's already feeling the pressure. We see him proning on over to the bottom of the stairs. Will he likely get up or challenge? No, he's going to go back towards the classroom.
Yeah, the red dot Jaeger is a bit of an odd thing as well, but this is the way that Infamy like to play. It's just running and gunning when they need to do it. They will play extremely passively, and then when it's time to pounce, you will see them jump in, and that's how they start to utilize that setup basically that they have on their weaponry. But Julia's all the way on the outside. Yet again, we're going to see him play the Ying, so Candela are definitely an option. Usually we see them being thrown into the bedroom here on the north side. So Kamikaze can just sit all the way back and just hold that window, the big window, and then have his Ying propelling over the side. However, Psycho will get down. Beastly will get taken out by Julia, a good reaction, but unfortunately, Psycho only got tagged down on the floor, and so now he gets picked up easily, though. Such a good spot. Unfortunately, fires a bit prematurely before he's able to get a clear line of sight on Julia and will have to pull back.
I was just about to say what I wanted to go and see was Easily, who last we saw was inside a classroom. He can most definitely go down the main stairwell, work his way over to red. Wag magically picking up a little bit of fairy dust, dragging a headshot onto Easily. Wonderful shot there. 5 on 3 now. With 45 seconds to go, Candela's go out. Vertical not affected whatsoever. Wag sees it, gonna go and challenge and moves on over, but Neptune's head skedaddled on away. Vertical picks up the frag, a 3 on 4 now. Kamikaze PZD smacking down their kills of their own. It's all up to Neptune. He gets 1. He's got 3 more to go. 30 seconds left to go. PZD and Julio are the last 2 attackers here. Julio knows exactly where he is. Will he grab the frag? He will. Black Dragons goes up 3-0 after the diffuser was planted.
You know, this reminds me of Year 2, Season 1, when on the desk I showed the only way to win for BD back then was just having Nesk. Now it's just up to Julio, because the guy is a god among men at this point, and he's just pulling the team. They're all working together, but when your entire team is facilitating your play as a star player, this is the perfect spot to shine, and he definitely is enjoying the limelight.
I mean, I can hear the crowd behind us. They're roaring at every single kill that's happening. You can bet your butt that they're going to be on their feet here in a few moments when this could potentially go to match point.
Yep. Well, the Infamy are going to go switch around their setup completely. Thermite's going to be used. We're going to see the Thatcher, the Ashe, the Habana, and the Buck 1-0 there for PZD. Unfortunately, we see Infamy with not much happening. They haven't been able to secure kills because it seems that there's no real coordination for them here on Oregon to push onto a site together.
They were looking a lot cleaner, a lot slicker on the last map. This map, they seem to be slacking a bit. I don't know if it's just because Black Dragons is outperforming them hands down,
5 seconds left.
or if it's actually some issues with Infamy's strategy, with their coordination specifically on this map.
Covered the bomb diffuser.
So Julia's just going to be setting up here on the mirror, falling back onto the site, opening up the hatch above him. But oddly enough, we don't see the normal reinforcement. He'll probably be ending up doing it now. There we go. Wagda with the smoke is all the way up top, which is not something that you usually see. A roaming smoke once the round has already started and all the way in a connector, basically. I am not too sure about that.
I think he went back towards meeting hall. Yep, he's over there in meeting hall. So, he's going to get back up. So I was going to say it might have been a little bit late opening of a wall, some late destruction. But no, he's going to situate himself up there. I mean, we saw a roaming smoke earlier. It used to be how smoke was played. And then, like the past, I want to say, year and a half, he's kind of been like, I'm going to go back on site.
So Easley's going to be joining in. He's going to spot the smoke and he's going to be like, why is there smoke all the way up there? We probably should be hunting him at this point. I'm just going to buck the floors here. Wag is just going to fall back, taking a bit
He's going to rush in
Oh.
easily, ready to go. Wag unexpectedly runs right into the crosshairs, and he'll fall.
Yeah, the spot that Easily had, he just bucked the floor from below, so he knows even if he just ran in, trying to get to the basement, he would have already picked them off by just that buck floor. But just holding off and waiting until the floor rotates from the meeting hall is the perfect spot to be in. But Kamikaze playing around his goo mines, trying to delay this as much as possible. Roaming up top in the bedroom, grenade's gonna flush him out a bit. No, Kamikaze gets the kill. Neptunes, though, will refrag, get the headshot, taking him down. And that's at least a cleanup all the way up top, though. PZD is still alive on the Ella all the way. Tower might just fall back at any point in time here, does not have to contest, and he knows this.
Now that was very good of Infamy, though. Very good of Infamy to push the I think it was the Kamikaze, that was going to be the Legion, together. You push them one-on-one, you're decreasing your chances of winning that fight, especially with those invisible goo traps potentially being around every corner.
Julio still set up behind, 48 seconds remaining. 4 versus 3 here for Infamy. They have the man advantage, and they have the positioning advantage as well, where you can set the Habana up top. There is no banded shockwire to worry about, so we're obviously going to see, well, at least we would hope that this mirror wall gets taken down. The C4 might just get thrown here, right onto Beastly! Dropped on the floor! Vandal, he's just trying to push through this, but the mirror wall is perfect position to stay behind here. Vandal almost getting sprayed down by Psycho.
Oh, another C4, what are you doing, Psycho? Go ahead and toss it! Oh, he's like, nope, not yet. A fake plan for a fake C4 toss. PZD gonna pick up 1, he picks up 2. It now goes to 4-0 in favor of Black Dragons. They're here, almost taking this quarterfinal to the victory.
Map and match point coming in from BD. Almost a 5-0. We're at 4-0 here. There is a literal mountain to climb for Infamy to stay in this. This is completely different from what we saw in map 1.
Completely different team that I want to say is not showing up to this map that they did on the first one. They need to figure out what is the issue. They need to get some more structure and some better communication, I want to say. Because right now, something big is lacking.
And the structure here, I'm not too sure. Infamy should have basically fixed these problems 2 rounds ago. Not now. This is a bit too late for them to go in. 6-0 for Julia. Are you kidding me? He's not died once, and he's just been playing insane in every single spot he's been in. So, Infamy on the defense, they roll out the Echo. This is the interesting defense that they have. But again, they can't afford to lose the roamers, basically. They need to have the support to the Echo for him to be able to do as much damage as possible. When you have the smoke alive, when you have the Echo alive, and also you have the C4 ready from the mirror to play, you have 3 ways of shutting down any diffuser plant, and that's exactly what you want to do.
If you stuck Julio and Shate in a room together with 1 Vector, who would come out on top?
I want to lean a bit more towards Shate because, you know, it's the EU bias, if you will, but Hey, any room that has both Julio and Shate in it is a room I want to be in, just looking at it.
But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be round number 5 on map number 2 of quarterfinal number 4. If I can throw in enough numbers there for you. This is the last quarterfinal of the day. This is match point. This is series point. Black Dragon won map number 1. They're here trying to take a 5-0 victory on map number 2.
Yeah, trying to make it through the semifinals of Year 2, Season 3 of the Grand Finals of 2017 in Sao Paulo. And I'm not
Here
even
on November 18th, 2017.
local time. So far, 1nfamy are just trying to get Black Dragons to push it. Now, BD have been clearing out as much as possible. They're afraid of having somebody to deal with
Activating
up top.
drone.
That's why Kamikaze was running up with a buck. But now he realizes, okay, there's nobody that's going to be contesting this. We can just go through the normal checklist with the Habana. Open up the hallway, open up the schoolyard, open
bomb
up
has been located.
the hatch leading into it, and take care of meeting everybody from BD.
Okay,
to set up both.
here's a little bit of an older meta, going with a double mirror window. I heard one mirror window opened up. I wasn't sure if it was intentional or not. It was intentional. Julio's going to spot out easily here, and instead of being overly cautious, he's just going to stay around the windowsill, around the mirror window, make sure he's got time to get these gas grenades out.
Now, the Echo Drone is going to be set up. Now, smoke nades have already been thrown out. They're trying not to throw the C4s a bit too early. Now, the Ella mine has been thrown in. They're trying, again, to delay as much as possible, but they lose out the Echo Drone, and that is a huge loss. Should not have opened them there. Should have just left the smoke to do his work here and then have the Echo Drone. Now, 48 seconds remaining, and we're relying on just the C4 hitting.
Now, it looks as though we will still have a potential Ella mine to get tossed on out. Possibly one gas grenade. I think all 3 might be down. The charges here. The Candella's going to go out. Smoke grenades as well. Julio's going to cover on this side as we have Psycho. Bottom of the stairs. Plant's going to go down here by Wag. C4 comes out, but it misses. We are going to have easily try to move in forward. Wonderful shot by Psycho. Can he get another? He does not just yet, but an A from Kamikaze does. PZD grabbing a kill as well. It's going to be a 2-on-5 vertical. Trying to figure out where to go. Vandal as well. Kamikaze drops, but does not get the kill. Vandal's going to be there. He's now looking on up top where PZD is. Wag trying to go for the plant now right now as it's a 2-on-4. And we have moments to go. 45 seconds here. Vertical does pick up a kill on the Wag. A 2-on-3 now. PZD, Psycho, Julio. Last 3 attackers. Plant down successfully. They have top 4 advantage. Vandal looking though he's going to stay down low. Vertical does fall. It's all up to Vandal right now. He does not get it. That's going to be Black Dragons securing this win. They're going to head to the semifinals to go up against Penta Sports.
What a game. I can't believe it. The crowd now is just absolutely going insane because of this sort of win. Black Dragons have come in. They have had a difficult map 1. However, going into map 2, you know what? They had complete control of it from start to finish. Dominated, exactly. And this is the sort of team that Penta should be afraid of. And indeed, I'm 100% sure that they are. This is the biggest competition that they have so far. They have ends, they have fun as well to deal with. But you know what? They have to deal with these guys in the semis. And I would be scared out of my pants.